Roxy Sims here, and welcome to Speed Build Saturday. Today I am taking on the huge task of rebuilding the Goth mansion. But before we get too far into the build, I just want to thank and talk about the sponsor for today's video, STARSTABLE. STARSTABLE is a totally unique online multiplayer game that you can download and play immediately. It's full of horses, friendship, and adventure. Discover the magical and beautiful island of Jorvik, where a captivating storyline will gradually unfold, all while creating an incredible bond with your four-legged pals. You can invite your friends to play with you, or you can start a new friendship right here with people from all over the world. Just look at all these potential friends. Together, you will complete races, challenges, and quests. But let's not forget about the horses. They'll need to be taken care of and trained throughout to establish the bond and improve their skills. The game is free to download and install on your computer, and it's super easy to do so. Just go to starstable.com. There you'll be able to create your character, customize your hair, eye color, makeup. You can also customize your horsey companion. When you're finished, just enter your email address, fill out this whole section right here, and then you can start downloading. Once it's done downloading, double-click the file, click install, and you're on your way. The first 5 levels are completely free, which will give you plenty of time to check everything out, and that means you can start playing right away. What's even better though, is if you download the game using the link in this video's description, you will get an entire week of the Star Rider premium version, for free of course. There's all kinds of things to do when you start playing. Compete in a race in Moorland, collect gold by completing quests, and then spend all that gold on awesome outfits and gear in one of the many stalls. Explore the beautiful Mistfall area, and discover new breeds of horses in Fort Pinta. Most importantly, make sure your horse's stable is in tip-top shape. This is called STARSTABLE after all, and you gotta make sure your horses are well fed, clean, and loved. Aww. Don't forget to download this game on your PC using the link in the description and start playing now. Thanks again to STARSTABLE for sponsoring today's video. Let's get back to this build, shall we? So yes, I'm finally doing it. I am taking on the gargantuan task of building the Goth mansion. It's not like the absolute biggest place I've ever built, but it was a lot of work. Definitely a lot of work went into it. I looked into Goth lore and everything. I put a lot of work into this, a lot of thought. So I hope that you like it. I am rebuilding it in the very iconic, classic Goth way. So this is going to be, Victorian to match the neighborhood, and of course have lots of Gothic themes involved as well. It was pretty funny actually though, because whenever I started, I have been thinking about rebuilding this mansion for years. But when I started seriously thinking about it, I started to become a little torn. I thought, this is the Goth mansion. I have to make it fit the Goths. It's got to be mostly black and purple and red, and that's what it's got to look like. It's got to have Victorian elements. It has to have Goth elements. That's what it has to be. But then I started thinking about it more, and I was like, we've seen that done a lot. So maybe doing something different would be cool as well. And so I was having a hard time deciding what I wanted to do. So I decided to go to you guys, and I went to my community tab. I put a poll out on there, and I said, should I keep it the classic Goth vibes, or should I do something completely different? And if so, what should I do? So get this, guys. 50% said keep it classic, and 50% said change it. So, very helpful, very helpful. No, but really, I had to laugh. I was like, yes, see, that's exactly how I'm feeling too. Both would be really cool, and I think both should happen. And because I got 50-50, I'm going to do that. So, I am building the classic version right now, but eventually I will build the newer version too. Because I couldn't go in with a 50-50 vote and then just choose one, So I'm going to do both. And I think I'll name this maybe I'll have a part 1 or something like that in there. I'm not sure how I'll do all that, But yeah, I'll eventually do both. When I rebuild it the second time, I think I'm going to do like ultra modern. I think that's what I'll do. I will keep the exterior the same though, like pretty much the same. Maybe some like furnishings and things would be different, but I want to keep the actual base house the same on the exterior because that goes along with goth lore and everything. You know, they're like passing down these epic manners, you know, through the family. So it makes sense that they inherited this old Victorian Gothic house. But, you know, maybe Bella moves in and she's like, you know, changing everything and, you know, still keep the Gothic elements though. I'll modernize everything, but I'll still keep lots of dark colors, maybe little spooky stuff in there somewhere. You have to keep all those elements involved because they're still the Goths. And even if Bella moved in and decided to update everything, well, she's still going to have it very goth-like because even though she started out as a bachelor, that was her, you know, her maiden name. Even though she started out not a goth, she was born to be a goth, you know? She was gothic even when she was a little kid. She had like skulls in her bedroom and everything. So you gotta keep that same vibe, just modernize it. So that's what I was thinking. And keeping it the same exterior, it kind of goes along with, I was thinking of like Wayne Manor. You know, Bruce Wayne, he's not going to move out of that. That's Wayne Manor. So that's the same kind of vibes. This is Goth Manor, and Goths always have to live here. So yeah, exterior the same, interior completely modernized. Tell me what you think about that. I had to put a little throwback into this build though, to take us back to the previous Goth manors, Goth mansions that we had in other games. So the other ones, they had like little family graveyards on the lot, and I thought, well, this one needs that too. It can't be different from all the other Goth manors. So I put in a little one in the backyard. If you don't like that kind of thing, I totally won't mind you just completely deleting it and putting, I don't know, a gardening area, leaving it just lawn, whatever. But, you know, I'm trying to make this appropriate for a goth house, you know, and that's appropriate. They're in the other ones. So I had to add just a little one in here. I've been playing The Sims since the very first one, and I gotta say, I have always been fascinated by the Goth family. And I'll be the first to admit, I don't pay a lot of attention to, you know, the real townies that we all know and love. I honestly haven't got that into it. But the Goths are an exception. I have always loved them. And I've always kind of hate-liked the land grabs. You just know about them, right? So, you know, and they're super rich and all that. So I've always known about them. But the Goths, now, I've always loved them. They're just so mysterious. And you're wondering, like, what's going on? You know they have secrets. And you want to know about them. And they come from old money. And there's just a lot of history back there. You know, like, you can tell the Goth family has a lot of history. And that's really interesting to me. And yeah, I tried looking into that. I watched Plumbella's Goth family history. So that was really cool and informative. And I watched some videos about Bella's history. And the whole Sims 2 thing where she was missing. Yeah, I got really into looking into all of that because I started wondering just what they're all about. And they definitely have this Addams Family vibe going on, which I love. I mean, most people really like the Addams Family, but when Addams Family Values, when I watched that movie, I was obsessed. Like, I could watch it over and over and over, and I did. You know, that's the one where they go to camp, the summer camp, which is hilarious. I adore those movies. They're so good, and I like the new ones too. I'm just overall really big Addams Family fan. They're awesome. My husband really likes them too, so sometimes we'll talk like Gomez and Morticia, mi amor, you know, and they're just so good. They're perfect. Gomez and Morticia Addams. I mean, name a more iconic couple, right? They're the perfect couple. I mean, I don't know if Mortimer and Bella quite live up to their perfection, but they are iconic nonetheless. With the Addams family in mind, I wanted to kind of go for that same vibe in their house, but I didn't want to do a completely Addams family because I think Addams family's house, it's just a little more run down and stuff like that. And I wanted the Goth house to be a lot more fancy, you know, and not run down at all. No cobwebs, nothing like that. I wanted to be in tip-top shape because these people are very rich and have like always been. So I wanted that vibe more than anything. I wanted sophisticated, classy, all those things too, not just creepy. I wanted just a little sprinkle of dark academia, you know. I think they're very well-educated people too. So had to have that kind of feeling in here. This was actually one of the hardest things I have ever had to build in The Sims 4. No joke. I don't know what it was about this. I think it's because it's, you know, I wanted it to be beautiful, but it had to be all in the classic Gothic style, and it had to be a little bit over the top because I didn't want to. I wanted it to be very much like the other Goth house, which you can actually see. Like I moved it over to this slightly bigger lot in this neighborhood, so the original Goth house you could see if you look over there. But I wanted to take those elements and just make it better, I guess, you know? And so that style is pretty out there. And there's some bold color choices, the purple and the red together. Those are all things that I don't normally do. So it was a challenge, especially because there's not a lot of things that are purple and red together. Because you can't just put like a solid purple thing and a solid red thing together and just expect it to look right. You kind of have to mix some things that have purple and red together so that it looks cohesive. So like that rug that was in the Mortimer and Bella's bedroom, I fought myself with that rug. I didn't know whether I should keep it, but it's purple and it's red together. And it is very Bella to me. So I went with it. If you don't like that rug, by all means, I don't blame you. You can get rid of it. I had to go with it though. You know, I couldn't decide to play it safe in this house. Do you get what I'm saying? I had to be bold and make some very bold decisions. And it is kind of outside of my norm. And I think that's why it took me so long and it was so difficult. But I am very, very happy with the result. I hope you are too. I totally agree that purple rug with the red roses is ugly. But I am happy that I went with it and happy that I was brave enough to put it in here. It's kind of a good ugly. Well, anyways, this is Cassandra's room. I went with the purple and black vibes, and I have a violin in here because she has a violin skill. And I just looked at her and thought kind of magical a little bit. But still academic, you know, and I just tried to mix all those into her room. And now we're working on little Alexander's room. I really like how this turned out. This is another, see these posters here? I figured these are all his favorite movies or video games or whatever. And I got this idea to put things that are totally not age appropriate in his room from the Addams Family. You know how Pugsley and Wednesday are always into things that are not age appropriate for them at all. And I always found that hilarious. I loved that part of it. And so I wanted to put that in here too. So he's got these like vampire movies, horror movie posters on there. And, you know, the Goths don't need society's permission. They do what they want, right? So I thought that was funny. Oh, and here's like a little, in that little tower part of the house, it's kind of like a little paranormal type room. A lot of stuff from paranormal pack in here for sure. Bella has been into paranormal stuff for quite a while, so I had to put a little room like that in there. Maybe it was a room that they don't even really know about. It was hidden, it's hidden behind this bookcase, and maybe it's just inherited. Who knows? And there's no television in the living room, so I have like a TV movie room up here. And I figured this used to be the attic, and then they've just like renovated some parts of it. So it is a bit newer. Still got an older style to it, but definitely more modern than downstairs. And then we have a little art room because a few of them are creative and like painting. Well, guys, that's pretty much it. I just want to thank you so much for watching. It really means the world to me. As always, this build will be uploaded to the gallery, so you can download it from there. Or if you need the tray files, you can get those from my Patreon page, which I will have linked down below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will talk to you all again next Saturday. Bye, everybody. Thanks again to STARSTABLE for sponsoring today's video, and don't forget to use the link in the description to download. Bye guys!